My name is Karin Antonio Alfaro, and this is my Communities of Influence presentation. Today we're joined by Mrs. Rosemary Macanni Madnick. She's had a successful and fruitful career in research administration spanning 20 plus years, and there's no signs of stopping her. She has been known not only for her tenacity and dedication for mentorship, but also for her successes in developing effective training programs within her offices. She is also an active member of the NCURA, the National Council of University Research Administration, organization that helps promote research administration and best practices across the nation. Rosemary Madnick began her career at Los Angeles County Department of Health and Human Services, DHHS, as a student worker during her undergraduate tenure at California State University, Los Angeles. Mrs. Madnick then moved on to Charles Drew University in the Department of Medicine and Sciences, performing data analytics, then moved on to the opportunity to work for the University of California, San Diego as a Director of Operations of Medicine. Rosemary was called back to CDU to manage and develop their Grants and Contracts office. As a successful contributor to grants and contracts management, she was then given the opportunity to become Assistant Vice President of Los Angeles Biomedical Research Institute at Harbor UCLA Medical Center, where she spearheaded many initiatives to promote the development of research in biomedical science, as well as effectively train those managing those awards in grants by introducing her signature program, RATED, Research Administration Training, Education, and Development.
As Karin said, my name is Rosemary Madnick, and I'm the Executive Director for the Office of Grants and Contracts Administration here at University of Alaska Fairbanks. What does that mean? Well, first of all, it means that my office is responsible for all outgoing proposals and incoming awards to the university for extramural funding, in research, teaching, and then training, any kind of proposals and awards that come in. So the office manages the life cycle approach. That's what we have here.
Now, if you're wondering what research administration or grants and contracts administration is, you're not alone. Here's what Rosemary Madnick had to say.
Personal life. First of all, my husband and kids still can't figure out what I do. So that's something that, I would say if they could figure out that, then, it's fine. But trying to hear them, anybody trying to explain it, it's like, no, that's just not quite right.
Well, if you ask me, Rosemary Madnick is a perfect embodiment of what a successful research administrator is and does. She has gone beyond the inherent role of managing awards or contracts and grants to helping others succeed in their craft. In my interview with Mrs. Madnick, we explored the realm of research administration and how she got to where she is today as Executive Director of Contracts and Grants Administration for her major university. And we also talked about the importance of a training program. And here's what she had to say about that.
Training has always been a near and dear to me, and a good grants and contracts office has a training. So when a training program, because when folks say that, oh, I don't have time to train, it takes too much time to implement a program, I actually disagree with them. And my philosophy has always been pay me now, pay me later. A training program takes a lot of time to do, but in the end, you then have people who understand whatever the topic is you're training them on, and then to help them, whatever topic you're training them on, as well as helping them become better at what they do within their jobs. So because of the different sizes of institutions I've been at, you can have a robust training programs that offer certifications, or you can offer a very simple training program that has, you meet once a month, you have a particular topic with learning objectives to get information out. So there are various levels of training.
Mrs. Madnick expresses that success in instructional design within research administration does not solely depend on just training. It also includes education and development. Taking these three pillars in mind, training, education, and development, Mrs. Madnick's strategy in enhancing self-efficacy among her learners has been in designing instruction that challenges the learners but also allows opportunities for success. Mrs. Madnick approaches training from the life cycle of an award perspective. In research administration, the life cycle of an award spans from finding a funding opportunity and developing a proposal for submission, receiving a notice of award for the award being granted by the sponsoring agency, then overseeing the management of the award in accordance to the university and sponsor requirements and assuring proper closeout of that award by performing compliance checks in case of an audit.
For me and helping to get this across at the university. So instead of just saying, hey, this month we're going to talk about effort reporting. Next month we're going to talk about match. And maybe the month after that we'll talk about budgets. It was important for me to start at the very ground floor and say, let's go ahead and start with the life cycle approach. And then that way we can then go in as a foundation to see what is it that people know, what is it that people don't know, instead of just saying throwing topics out there.
With this approach, Mrs. Madnick is able to deliberately activate and assess her audience's prior knowledge or lack thereof by starting training from the ground level. It seems pretty clear what sets Mrs. Madnick apart from any conventional research administrator. Her strengths lie in education and has truly helped her connect with organizations and the people therein by providing training as a support tool for advancement. When asked what skills got her to where she is, this is what she had to say.
I would say it's a little bit of everything, but I think more importantly, it's perseverance. It's perseverance, it's networking, getting out there, connecting with folks, finding mentors, having critical thinking skills, listening, and just, always looking to see what is out there in the field.
Despite the many challenges Mrs. Madnick faces as an executive director, she has found ways to overcome them. She does admit that it does take monetary and other resources to spearhead an initiative like training to move an organization forward. This, however, has not stopped her from introducing training wherever she goes. After my interview with Mrs. Madnick, I truly was injected with inspiration, motivation, and validation. Mrs. Madnick has reached her level of success in large part because she believes in research administration and what it could offer other people. This is reflective of her initiative in carrying a training wherever she goes and making sure it is in place to fit the mission and vision of that organization. As a senior research administrator, my aspirations are to embody the skills and qualities Mrs. Madnick has described. I, too, share with Mrs. Madnick that effective training programs are an essential part of what can take research administration to the next level.